What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I figured that I would go ahead and make a updated, in-depth 3.75-inch Star Wars action figure collection video. So a couple weeks ago, I was looking back at previous videos I've made, and I realized I've not made a 3.75-inch in-depth collection tour for a while. I have done in-depths on like my Jedi and stuff, but for the most part, it's just been room tours where I kind of just glance over it and then move on to something else. But I am home from college, and I added a few figures to the collection this weekend, so I figured I would just go ahead and go in depth and show you guys what we got going on. So yeah. And also, to preface, I have been collecting action figures since probably 2009, maybe a little bit earlier. I mean, I was probably like 3 years old whenever my dad gave me my first figure. So yeah, this has been a collection a long time in the making, and I'm still collecting even today, whether that be past figures, present figures. I love the vintage collection and stuff like that. Also, this is not the entire collection. I do have a lot of it. And this right here, as you can see, that's the cantina, and then there's just like a lot more figures. And then I have this whole Lego brick thing is full of figures as well. But my most favorite, also there's Anakin, my most favorite, my most valuable, and just, you know, the ones that I want to keep displayed are out here right now. Also, I do have favorites that are in there, but I just don't have room. You know, these figures are very close together and that sort of thing. I've also had to spill into over here. I also have two sealed Clone Wars clones here. We got Commander Fox and a Clone Trooper Senate Security. Put them over here because I didn't have any room else for them, honestly, but I really do love those figures. Commander Fox is one of my favorite Clone Wars designs of all time. So yeah. So I do keep some of them sealed. I do like the card backs that the Vintage Collection has. They are called the Vintage Collection, obviously, because the packaging replicates that of vintage figures from the 70s and 80s. So right up here we have a little comic art Boba Fett. My brother just got me that for my birthday a couple months ago. We have a Jedi Survivor, what is that, Jetpack Trooper, Clone Wars Ahsoka, Clone Wars Luminara and Dooley, Clone Wars Ayla Secura. Got a new one here, Marin from Jedi Survivor, as well as Cal Kestis, and then we have Starkiller. Down here, some of my favorites from KOTOR, we have HK-47, Jedi Knight Revan, and Darth Revan. And then down here we have some sealed Clone Wars. We have Clone Commander Wolf, Pre-Vizsla, and a Stealth Ops Clone Trooper. Fun fact about these three, I got them all at my local vintage toy reseller store for like $30 each, which is such a steal because these guys are worth a lot more on eBay. So really happy about that. We have Cad Bane down here, Echo, and then Captain Argyus. But that Cad Bane, I didn't, it just made me remember this, but I got that like 5 years ago whenever I just got back into actively recollecting 3.75-inch figures. I love the Clone Wars and I love Starfighters, so here is all 6 of the official Clone Wars Starfighters that were made. It started with Anakin Starfighter that my brother and dad picked up for me at a antique store. I actually used to have it back in the day, but I broke it and we gave it to Goodwill. So I got a new one, and then I ended up having to buy its R2 unit. And then I found Obi-Wan's at Happy Pappy's as well, and I got his R2 unit. And I was like, you know what, there's only 6, might as well try to collect them all. And some of them are more expensive and rare than others. As for, I think Ahsoka's the most expensive and rare one. I don't know why. I think it's just because it's hard to find ones in good condition, but we got her with the astromech, also picked her up at Happy Pappy's. My favorite is Plo Koon's. I love how that looks. And then we have Kit Fistos, which I got for 15 bucks at Happy Pappy's, and he never got an official astromech unit because like they're all like Clone Warsified. So I had to use his actual astromech unit, but it's like a live action version, so there's that. And then we have Mace Windu's. I really like his droid. So that's very cool. Very thankful for those. And then let's look at the rest of my sealed vintage collections up here. We have an Ahsoka Trooper. Got Jesse. What is that? 5s. 501st. Attack of the Clones Clone Trooper. The Bad Batch 4-pack with Rex, Gray, and Ballast. I love that figure. We have the Battlefront 2 figs, ARC Trooper, what's it? Umber Operative, Lambent Seeker, just a normal one. Phase 2 right there. We have Havoc, Blitz, and then the 2 from the original Tartakovsky Clone Wars. So yeah, those are my sealed ones. Have them on the wall there. Pretty nice. Very thankful for them. Now let's get into the main bulk. So yeah, I started putting figures on this whole shelf probably 3-4 years ago. I'd say probably 3.5 at this point. And yeah, I was originally, it was just this top. Just this top was where like I had my 3.75 inch figures displayed. The rest was Lego. And then I'd say probably about 2 years ago, I was like, I gotta just make this whole thing 3.75 inch. Just have a 3.75 inch corner, and that's what I did. And I'm really happy I did it because, well, obviously the collection grew. I mean, most of these Jedi I didn't have, and I just got them in the last 2 years. So also up here just grew. So yeah, I used to have them displayed in like a fighting like style, like, you know, in action, but that just takes up too much space, so I just have them all lined up, which I do like. So without further ado, let's just get in depth on what we actually have in front of us. It all started with the Chosen One. Here we have Anakin as a young boy, and this is sort of like my Anakin Obi-Wan display up here. But we got Padme whenever she met Anakin, and then of course his mother Shmi. And we have Padme Attack of the Clones and Padme Revenge of the Sith. Here we have the 2013 Revenge of the Sith Anakin from Vintage Collection. One of my definitive Anakins, just like the 2005 Legacy Collection, but I did do a fix-up on his hair because he had a really scuffed hairline. Here we have Force Ghost Anakin from Return of the Jedi, as well as another one of those Legacy Collection Anakins. Different head sculpt though. Comic pack Attack of the Clones style Anakin there. Force Ghost Anakin, but with his other actor, I forget his name at the moment. We have Qui-Gon Jinn, Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi, Revenge of the Sith / an Attack Obi-Wan Kenobi. We got Clone Wars Anakin, Attack of the Clones Obi, Attack of the Clones Anakin, Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan. We definitely need a new one of those in Vintage Collection for sure. And then we have Clone Wars Obi-Wan Snow, normal Clone Wars Obi-Wan, another Clone Wars Anakin, and a / an Attack Anakin there. We have a few more just random Jedi. Clone Wars Mace, that's Mandalorian Luke, and then Agen Kolar. Oh, Ahsoka's back there. We got another Qui-Gon Jinn, another Mace Windu, another Kit Fisto, another Ahsoka, Tanwi Lama Su, oops. So yeah, those are just, you know, my Anakins and stuff. Anakins and Obi-Wans. Because I have so many, I did not put them in the main display. There are a few Anakins still though. And is there an Obi-Wan? I don't think I have an Obi-Wan down there. I should put an Obi-Wan down there. But yeah, so that's that. I'll also just some extras that I put there. Now let's get into the clones. There's a lot of them. Yeah, let's just start. I'm not gonna try to make this take too long because there's a lot of them. So Clone Wars style Fox, I gave him an update, or I fixed him up because his chin did not have the white, so I put the white there. I love that figure so much though. We have the Ahsoka Trooper 501st and 2 regulars 4-pack from the Vintage Collection. Vintage Collection Hunter, I love that figure, and the brand new Vintage Collection Crosshair. Here we have the also new, well, I guess it came out a year ago at this point, Vintage Collection Rex, love that figure, as well as the Phase 2 Clone Wars style, Clone Wars style Rex, also love that figure. 2005 501st, found it under my bed actually, or no, I found it under a couch, which was crazy. I got really lucky with that one. Mace Windu's Legion, I forget what number they are, but we got a recon trooper, custom trooper there, landing dock trooper or something like that. We got a Clone Wars 501st there, love that fig. Actually, I didn't even remember I had that one. I do really like that one. And then we have a Clone Wars Phase 1 Rex, such a nostalgic, perfect figure there. Fives Vintage Collection, really nice, had him for a while. Clone Wars Phase 2 Wolf as well. Also love that figure. This is also a 501st Trooper, just a little bit different shade of blue. ATRT Driver, 501st. Shock Trooper from 2005. Again, I don't remember what this guy with the 2 blue stripes is, but, you know. We have a boss figure. I used to have all 4 of the Delta Squad figures that came in the pack. Lost them all, so that's tragic because it's like $400 for all of them. Got a red trooper there, forget his name. 2, oh shoot, what squad are these guys from? I forget, but it's like Heavy and somebody else. They're just training clones. And then we have some ARC troopers from the Tartakovsky Clone Wars, and they don't have their armor because I've had those literally for like 15 years or something, 16 years. We have 2 plain, clean Phase 1 Clone Wars troops, not the dirtied up ones. These ones came in like a RC anti-hellfire fire droid pack or whatever. So, like those guys. Here's another Hauser. I think I ended up getting like a single carded one. Or no, I bought him single carded because I really wanted him because I didn't think I'd find the 4-pack, but I did find the 4-pack. This is a brand new one I just added this weekend. It is Clone Rise. I really like him. Just like that pop of red. Looks really good there. We have the 2005 Gree. Are we the 41st Legion? I'm just gonna go with that. We got a 41st 2005. We have a Clone Wars 41st Battalion. I don't know if that's right. It's Grease Battalion though. We have a Scuba Trooper, aka Wolf Pack Trooper from Clone Wars. Another one of those like landing dock guys, I forget their name. And then we have Clone Wars Snowy Rex. We have Clone Wars Phase 1 Gree. He was also one of the first figures I got whenever I got back into collecting. I really like him. He looks cool without his helmet on. And then we have the Phase 2 Clone Commander Cody. They did not make too many Phase 2, or yeah, just Phase 2 clones in general. I have almost all of them except for just like the normal white one, which I actually did see at Happy Puppies the other day for 40 bucks. I didn't get it though because I'm not longing for it at the moment. But we do have the 4 212th Troopers, Waxer being one of them that came out in the vintage collection about 2 years ago. We have a 212th Clone Wars. We have Commander Bly's Legion. He looks a little bit orange, but he's actually yellow. So that's Commander Bly's. And then we have a 212th ATRT driver. And then a Clone Wars ATRT. And then another 212th ATRT. So, yeah, that's basically all my clones. Not all of them, obviously, but all of them right here. We also do have some more. Like, there's a Phase 2, 501st. There's Bly. I do love me some Bly. Bly is my favorite clone commander, obviously for my profile pic. Gunner there, Apo. And we have another Phase 2 212, or Phase 1 212 from Clone Wars, and then we have Clone Wars Commander Cody. And then I have a little area over here that's like sort of like my bad guys. I made sure to put the 3 main bad guys from the prequels here. So we have Count Dooku, the Vintage Collection Darth Maul, and then I don't even know what version figure this is of Grievous, but I do think Vintage Collection needs to make a new Grievous. I don't even think they've made Grievous actually before. We have holographic Grievous from Clone Wars. Darth Vader, of course. We have 2 Clone Wars battle droids and then a live-action battle droid. Oh my goodness, Zam Wessel, I think that's her name. Biggs from the original trilogy, but that's him as a Imperial. Palpatine, of course. We got a droid there. Jango Fett, Boba Fett, random Mandalorian there, and then the concept art of Boba Fett. And then an Evo Trooper from what the crap is it called? Force Unleashed, and then a battle droid. Best character in all of Star Wars, Jar Jar Binks, and then we have 2 like Gungan. Is that Captain Tarpals or something? And then like a Gungan soldier. So that is everything up here. I do have, well, I forgot to mention Yoda, and also I have these Galactic Heroes because I used to have these whenever I was little. A lot of these are from whenever I was little too, and R2-D2 there. So yeah, that's the top. Really happy with it. I like that. Whew, I gotta like catch my breath, but I like that it kind of follows a line, like, okay, Padme's, Anakin's, Obi-Wan's, random Jedi, and then we go into clones, and then we go on to just, you know, like, beforehand, it used to literally just be all over the place, and it made me crazy, but this is a lot nicer. So, if you guys have kept up with the channel, a big part of 2024 was collecting 3.75-inch Jedi. I love Jedi. I think that they're so sick. Attack of the Clones is probably my favorite movie. I do love Revenge of the Sith, but there's just something so amazing about Attack of the Clones because it's like, it was just like prime, like all the Jedi, everything like that. I love the Battle of Geonosis. And yeah, I'd say Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones are my favorite, but I realized that there was less than 100 individual named Jedi made in 3.75-inch scale, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to collect them all. I don't have them all. There's probably about maybe 10, less than 10 that I don't have, and they're all very, very expensive ones, like Legends characters, so I'm not too crazy about getting them because I do have most of the canonical, like, George Lucas ones. Also, I don't count Acolyte figures because what the crap is that, you know? So yeah, but I'll just go ahead and show you guys what we got going on. Okay, so starting over here in the corner, we have my Padawan. So we have Ashla, young Anakin, Jamba or something, Cheyenne, and then Yoda teaching them there. And then, of course, we have to have Anakin right there ready to slaughter. This is the new Revenge of the Sith, well, technically it's Ahsoka, but I call it Revenge of the Sith because that's what it is. Revenge of the Sith Anakin from the Vintage Collection. Really good figure. We have some Legends figures there. Mara Jade, Luke Skywalker, something Kofi. And then we have the 3 Tartakovsky Jedi back there. Cal Kestis, Kanan Jarrus, Cade Skywalker, Asherad Het, what's his name? Ezra, Nikonis Tasu, Bastila Shan. We have Coleman Trevor there. Oh shoot, this is gonna be a test on I have not said these people's names for a while. Is that Fiek Search? I think? I don't know. Oh shoot, what's his name? Kyle Katarn? Galen Merrick there. Random Twi'lek Jedi. Oh shoot. Roan Shrine? Roan Shrine. Okay, there we go. Oh shoot. Sarissa Jang? Oh my goodness, I cannot believe I remember the Sarissa Jang. This is the librarian. What's her name? Jocasta Nu. Oh shoot. Kiat Quinn. She has an interesting name. What is his name? We got the bald guy here. I don't remember his name. But Kiat Quinn, Roan Shrine, Sarissa Jang, Nikonis Tasu, and this bald guy are all a part of the Toys R Us wave, which these are just like Geonosian random Jedi that they kind of just gave names. Some of them were actually seen on screen, like Sarissa, but others weren't, and Nikonis were. Like these 3 were kind of just made up. But they were very, very, very hard to come by. There's never too many listings on eBay for them, and when there are, they're so expensive. So very thankful for those. And then the other one from that same same Toys R Us wave is I don't remember his name, but he was the first one I picked up. Probably my favorite one too. I really like this guy. And then we have oh my goodness, what is her name? But wait, it starts with a B. Boltar Swan, yes. This girl is it's not Stas Ali, it's Adi Gallia. And she has a, like, it's supposed to be pink, but it's kind of red lightsaber. They only ever made a figure for once in like the 90s. And then we have Anakin. Like I said, I have a few Anakins down here. This is Anakin from the Tartakovsky wave. Really good head scan on that Anakin, actually. I forgot how good that head scan is. Really good. We have a custom Jedi there from Crimson Dynamite on Instagram. Tarados Gone. Pablo Jill. Master Sev. Oh, he's also Toys R Us. K. Mars Radath there. So that's all the Toys R Us exclusives there. This is just a random Jedi Master figure. I actually got him a year ago. Because, fun fact guys, I actually left for Australia 1 year ago today. Like, I left technically the 13th, got there the 15th because you time skip. So I skipped. Oh my goodness, this is my first day living through the 14th of September in 2 years. Because I skipped it last year. Anyways, I got him right before I left. He's very rare. He was a Disney Star Tours exclusive back like 20 years ago. So to get him was very hard, but I'm very thankful I got him. And yeah, he's just called Jedi Master. Here we have, I don't know if this Greedo guy has a name, but I just know he's a Rhodian Jedi. He's also from the, guys, the Toys R Us packs are not done. Kmar's Wrath is the last one that came in a 4-pack. He came in a 2-pack, so he was also a Toys R Us exclusive. Eth Koth back there. Sora Bulk right there. And then this guy was the guy who was a stunt double for, was it Qui-Gon Jinn or Count Dooku? I forget, but don't remember his name. He's also a Toys R Us exclusive, and then this guy was also a Toys R Us exclusive. And again, I don't remember his name, so sorry guys. But I am actually pretty happy with how many names I was able to remember because I've not named these people recently. It's been a while, so. Now over here, kind of more towards like the, you know, typical named prequel Jedi, Jedi Masters on the Council or whatever. We have Ahsoka, obviously she was not on the Council, but we got Stas Ali right there. This is another custom Jedi from Crimson Dynamite. I got her about a month or 2 ago. Ayla Secura there, and then another custom Crimson Dynamite Jedi, a Quarren there. So, really cool. Agen Kolar, Quinlan Voss, Plo Koon, Lumina Andoli, the new Clone Wars Anakin, and then another Crimson Dynamite custom Jedi. Here we have the Vintage Collection Kit Fisto. He was kind of hard to get. He's a little bit of an expensive fig. Nadar Veb. He is Kit Fisto's apprentice. Here we have Kit Fisto, or no, Kiari Mundi, Saucy Tin, Shakti, Mace Windu, and Barasafi, also a Vintage Collection figure, but not her latest release. This is actually based off of Attack of the Clones. And then we have 2 of the Jedi Council, like, little displays here. Yariel Poof, Depa Blaba, Yaddle, another Mace Windu, Qui-Gon Jinn, I know that guy's name. Oh my goodness. Egan, no. Egan, oh my goodness, what's his name? Oh, shoot. I forget what these 2 people, wait. Oh my goodness, these ones are literally on the tip of my tongue. But, yeah, whatever. Oh, why can't I remember? I'm gonna remember his name. It's Oppo Rancisis and even PL or whatever. I tried my best, guys. But those are all my Jedi, and I'm so beyond happy and thankful with the collection there. Really, really cool. Have some white whales in there. Have some really hard to come by figures. And I just love all like the lightsabers and everything. I have like my own little army here. So very thankful for that. And then down here, we have more my Sith, and then also just like more prequel figs. So I also added more to this. But first of all, the display in the background I really like. It is like a Imperial hallway from the Vintage Collection. Got it about a year ago. And here we have my favorite Jango Fett figure of all time, the deluxe Vintage Collection Deluxe figure that came out a year ago. Beautiful, beautiful figure. Perfect. I added this one yesterday. It is the concept art Anakin Skywalker from 2009. Been wanting this figure for so long. Well, technically it's Darth Vader, because at this point he's turned. This is like, if he didn't burn, he would have looked like this as Darth Vader. So, really, really cool. And he reminds me of Starkiller, and that's why he's next to Starkiller. I used to have this figure whenever I was little, loved playing with it, lost it, had to rebuy it, but it's worth it. It's really good. I also used to have this one too. And this is Sith Stalker Starkiller. Here we have Darth Talon. George Lucas's favorite there. Got her at Apple Jackson, Cleveland. Here we have the 2008 Asajj Ventress, and then the new 2025 Asajj Ventress, which I just added yesterday. And then we have Darth Maul from the Clone Wars with his robot legs. Here we have the electrocuted Darth Vader from the Evolutions of Anakin pack that came out. Celeste, is her name Celeste Moore? Silas Moore? Sliss Moore? Something like that? Palpatine. I forget his name, but he's like the senator. Shoot, a lot of these people's names are like right on the tip of my tongue. I just forget. Shoot, I'm about to forget her name too. Aura Singh. Got Aura Singh there. Purge Trooper from Fallen Order. The new Count Dooku figure. A gun just went off outside. This is Maris Brood, I think. Something, Maris Brood, I believe. Oh my goodness, what's his name? He's like the assassin droid in The Force Unleashed. Why, guys, I need to like catch up on my memorizing Star Wars names. Like, this is like horrible. Jyn Erso, that's not Jyn Erso. Proxy and Juno Eclipse. Sorry guys. I promise you guys, like, I'm a fan of Star Wars and I played through these games. Grand Admiral Thrawn, of course, Vintage Collection release. And then we have some Mandos back here. So not necessarily Sith, but I just put them back here because why not? So we're at like Night Watch or something, Death Watch maybe. One from like the Mandalorian Village, a good one I guess, and then Cobb Vanth refrigeration. That's what I'd always say. Anyways, also we got that guy from Utapau. Again, forget his name. Whoop-de-doo. Who would have guessed? And then we have some more like Anakin's and Padme's sort of situation. So we got Padme whenever she gets off the dock in the Attack of the Clones. The prequel or the Phantom Menace ship driver, Captain Typho, Captain Panaka. There's actually a really cool Captain Typho figure that I think I might want to try to get. But yeah, Celebration Padme there. I really like that figure. We have Padme's Decoy. Also Padme's Decoy, technically, from Vintage Collection. Padme, what version? Oh, Phantom Menace Padme there. Attack of the Clones Padme whenever they go to the Lars homestead. Baddie for real. Actually, that figure was pretty expensive, and it's like an old figure, and there's like barely any articulation, but she was like 20 bucks or something. Attack of the Clones, Anakin there, sitting on the little sand plate that he came with, and like it's like whenever he figures out his mom died or whatever, and he like picks up the sand, and she's standing behind him, so I just recreated that there. Back here we have, these people are technically related, or they, not related by blood, but they have ties to Padme because they raised Luke. They did not raise Luke, they raised Leia. Why the crap would I have said that? But we got Bail Organa and, what's her name, Brea Organa, something like that. The Organa family. And they raised Leia, not Luke. And then we have Marriage Padme with Anakin there from whenever he like dressed in a disguise or like went on a date with her. And then there's like a little platform there. And then I randomly just have Tan Wee and 2 training clones. Technically, I could put Tan Wee up there with Lama Su, which I probably should. But yeah, so that is that shelf. I really do like that shelf. And then down here, we kind of just have some random stuff. We do have some Black Series. So we have some Jedi Survivor / Fallen Order Black Series here. Dagan Gera, incredible figure. Got him at the beginning of the year. She just came out, Marin. Survivor Cal Kestis, and then Fallen Order Cal Kestis. A Phase 2 clone trooper I got in Paris, France, back there. And then we do have some sealed vintage collections, an Elite Squad Trooper and a clone. And then we have Sebulba's Pod Racer here. We have some KOTOR Black Series, so Juhani, Bastila, Malik, and Zalbar. I do have Darth Revan. I actually should probably just open that figure, actually, because I just realized he's literally, like, in storage right now. But I could totally have him, like, next to Bastila, so I probably should do that. And then, oh, shoot, okay. Ram Koda from The Force Unleashed. He's sealed. You know what? I always forget I have that figure. I totally could just open him and put him with my Force Unleashed stuff. You know what? I probably should do that. Yeah, I might do that. Anyways, and then we have Sui Choi, another Jedi, and a Bark Trooper there in like a little pack. And then I have a sealed battle pack back there of Lego. So that's that. Over here, I have my 3.75 gunship. Now they are making a new one in the vintage collection, which is gonna be like $400. I got this for, I don't know, maybe like $250, $300 maybe, sealed, about a year and a half ago. And this was like the biggest white whale thing I've ever gotten. And I do have the bubble turrets on both sides, which is really cool. But we have a Clone Wars Flame Trooper, Geonosian Flame Trooper, which is really beautiful. We have a dirtied up clone, phase 1 clone. A Kit Fisto Clone Wars version, like his second iteration. Another dirtied up clone. We have 2 Clone Wars pilots in there manning the ship. Another phase 1 dirtied up, and then a old like 2002 pilot. Got a Tartakovsky ARC Trooper there. Clone Wars Kit Fisto, another pilot, another just shiny, clean Clone Wars phase 1. The new vintage collection Lieutenant, another vintage collection Anakin Clone Wars hard case, I believe, and then a Clone Wars Mandalorian just for fun, I guess. And then up here we have more ships. So this is a custom 2008 CC-10 starfighter. Obviously they never made him, so I took it upon myself to make my own, and it is beautiful. I really do love it. Made it using Obi-Wan starfighter, so I got one for like $8 or something, and then I made it. And then speaking of Saucy Tin, we also have his live action Attack of the Clones version of his ship here with him actually in it there. This is Obi-Wan's Interceptor. I have another Clone Wars Anakin in there, and then we have Darth Vader's Interceptor. Wow, guys, that was a long video. That's probably why I have not made an update for a while, just because it takes a long time to get through all that is in this display. But that being said, I am so glad that I just did that, because I love talking about this stuff, and it's nice to just, you know, throughout the years see how it changes, see, you know, just see where I go with the collection. And I do enjoy getting to look back at old videos and just compare, you know. And also I just have such a big passion for this kind of thing, and yeah, very, very thankful for it. And I'm excited to see, you know, what new releases and everything come out in vintage collection, what figures I might pick up in the future that are old, and yeah, just everything like that. So anyways, guys, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to hit like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.